Hello, I'm Dr. Vijay Murthy. I'm with Yulia Graves. So, Yulia, you spoke to me in one of the interviews about Calendula. So, we are here in front of this Calendula plant. Can you tell me about Calendula?
Yes, so Calendula is a common garden plant. So it is also called marigold or pot marigold. And we want to just quickly show you the flowers so you do not confuse it with Indian marigold. So Calendula can be orange or yellow with a light or dark brown center.
They
And
both smell similar, don't they? Indian Calendula and this
I think that Indian
is stronger.
marigold, which is also called tagetes, is really stronger and more
yeah.
aromatic. However, the way you can easily distinguish them is by looking at the seeds. So here
Yeah.
we have the seeds. They have a very characteristic shape. So they fall apart into these half-moon shaped formations. And tagetes does not have that, the Indian marigold.
Yes, yeah. So when it is dried, you can really break them into, and then you can see that it does have this typical half moon shape.
Right. Another distinguishing feature is also that our European calendula is a little bit sticky. So when we touch the plant, you feel a certain stickiness, especially here when you touch on the underside of the flower at the calyx.
So is it the hairy structure that makes it sticky, or is it some kind of sap in it that
Yeah.
makes it sticky?
It's actually a little bit resinous, and it's
Yeah.
these resins that are incredibly healing to skin abrasions. So it's one of our most wonderful skin healing medicinal plants, and it's wonderful for when we fall on a bicycle and we scrape off our skin, or else, for instance, when we have shaved a little bit of our skin
really?
off by accident.
Actually, you know what, Julia? I've shaved off my skin
Yes.
just now. And you think for this I can apply calendula? Like, in what form can I do it?
Well, you could use the tea, but
Yeah.
you could also use a tincture. For instance, here we have calendula tincture, and you would just put some into the palm of your hand.
Like that?
Yeah, and
And
then
then-
dab it on,
Like that?
like
And
an
then-
aftershave.
Oh my god.
Yes, that burns, of course. Alcohol always burns
Yeah.
on a wound.
It burns, but then it feels good afterward, just in a second. It's the initial touch of alcohol.
Right. So calendula is also very antiseptic, so it keeps
smells
the wounds
Yes.
free of infections, and it was in the olden times very much used in surgery and
Yeah.
in war hospitals also for battle wounds.
Yeah, and Yulia in her interview has spoken about how calendula can be so good for lymphatic health. In breast health care, calendula is one of the key plants that we discussed, and keeping the lymph flowing and lymph drainage is very essential for detoxifying the metabolites. So how would you use calendula for that?
Right. So a wonderful way of using calendula in that case would be to simply take the flowers. So if you don't have it in the garden, you would take dried calendula flowers. 3 would be enough per cup of tea, and make yourself a cup of tea. So pour boiling water onto the flowers, let it sit for say 3 to 5 minutes, and then drink. You could also use it as a wash. So you could also use it as a breast wash. So we've talked about breast self-massage. You could incorporate it into those movements too.
Yeah. So calendula is a fantastic herb for lymphatic health, and so it's useful not just for women but also for men. You just saw that you can use it on if you scrape off your skin while shaving, or in general for lymphatic circulation. If you want to know more about the uses of plants in our gardens and spices, and how we can use nature as our friend in terms of healing ourselves,